Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Introspective Gamer. This is okay. You know what it is? It's muscle memory. I just start the show and I'm like, oh, welcome to episode whatever. But it's just habit. Me trying to copy other intros and stuff like that. What you do need to know is today is March 17th and it's Friday. Yes, I'm recording late. I'm sorry, guys. There's been no good excuse. It's spring break. My son doesn't even go to school. But my wife's off of work, so we've been hanging out, spending some time. Saw that Beauty and the Beast last night. It was alright. I'll tell you what, this isn't a topic, but I kind of want to delve into Beauty and the Beast real quick. Because I haven't really been looking forward to it. Oh, and no spoilers. But see, that's the problem, is that it doesn't matter if there's no spoilers, because it's the exact same movie as the cartoon. And that bothered me. It's been bothering me leading up to the movie. So I want to get this out of the way. I like the movie. If I had to grade it on a scale of 1 through 10, I'd give it a 7. I think my wife, from the sounds of what we were talking about last night, she would give it like a 9 or an 8.5. She really liked it. And I really liked it too, but like I was telling her, the fact that it copies one for one what the cartoon did makes it not work. And I felt like I was watching a play rather than a movie. And what I mean by that is like, in a cartoon, people can act exaggerated and ridiculous because when you're watching a cartoon, you kind of just accept that it's full of exaggerated characters, and that's why it's a cartoon. When you're watching a movie and it does that, it either has to go full in and get all cartoony, silly with it, or it kind of has to let itself know that it's in a surreal space and time. And for some reason, because this movie doesn't attempt to do anything, it literally just piggybacks off of, you remember the cartoon? Well, this is the cartoon in live action form. And that, I think, is where it falls apart. It's like I told my wife, my favorite character in the cartoon is Belle. My favorite character in the movie is LeFou. And I was like, that is a problem. When you have a side character, it's a side character of a side character. He is not and was not important in the original cartoon. But the fact that his character is the most developed in this new one, that's a problem. Other than that, I mean, the movie was fine. Some of the scenes, I feel like, again, I know I'm probably going to be in the minority. And like I said, I like the movie. This is a much bigger conversation than me and my wife were having. Because she's like, why do you hate it? And I don't. I like it. It's just there were some things that, like I said, are acceptable as a cartoon that I don't think are acceptable in a live action version. Or different. The same thing they did with LeFou, they should have done with the rest of the characters in the movie and made this like a 3-hour-long movie or something like that. Like, and you know, I'll tell you what the problem is that the Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie that I've ever seen. Like, I like the music, I like the story, and again, the same thing can be said about this one. But right now, when this thing comes out for sale on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever people are buying digital, I don't want to buy it, but I probably will for my family. But I would still rather watch the cartoon over this any day. Again, I like it. It's just I think the cartoon is better. And it's like I told my wife, it's just unfair. But it's because it's unfair because everyone or most people are going to compare it to the original cartoon. And that's not fair because this movie should be able to stand on its own merit. But you know what makes it fair? Is that Disney made the exact same movie one for one. Like, there is not a scene that the whole, I want you to come to dinner, well then starve. Exactly the same lines, one for one. It was so much the same that when it wasn't, I was like, why not? Like, when they're fighting on the rooftop and he takes the spire off of the roof and he's going to hit the beast with it, I was waiting for Gaston to say, Belle is mine. But that didn't happen. And I was like, oh, man, crazy. But again, it's like I said, I'm not going to talk about spoilers, but there isn't any. If you've seen the cartoon, that's exactly what happens in the movie, for better or worse. I think it's for worse, but not by much, because it's like, well, it was a great movie. It was the music is still good. They added some new songs, and I agree with my wife. They kind of went with the movie. It's not like they added anything crazy, or something that was going to, like, break anything. Everything just worked. Anyway, so that was my movie minute. Which was more than a minute. So anyway, let's go ahead and start the podcast proper with the first topic, which I just wanted to talk about how there are a lot of games right now coming out. I've been gushing about Zelda. I've been playing Zelda, but for real, a lot of video game outlets are moving on to Mass Effect, and they keep trying to talk about Ghost Recon Wildlands, but it doesn't sound like they want to because they'd rather be playing other games that are out right now. And it also sounds like maybe Ghost Recon didn't. I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's working out well, which is funny because, like I'm saying, I think everybody wants to play other games, maybe even specifically Zelda, because again, podcasts and stuff are still talking about that even a week or two after its release. It's been a week, but it's been about 2 weeks since. No, it's been 2 weeks. Yeah, man. Wow. 2 weeks after its release, and they're still talking about it. But it's because the game is really awesome. But yeah, I just want to mention how it's overwhelming. I'm enjoying it, and again, I only have a Switch right now. I have an Xbox One and my Wii U and all that stuff, but right now I'm mostly gaming on the Switch, and specifically Zelda. And I don't know, I can't imagine what people who want to play all the games are going through right now. They're trying to like rush through all the games, or even just give themselves time. It's crazy. It seems like it would be overwhelming if I was trying to do that. So I'm kind of glad that I can just focus on one. And so, sorry, right now I'm getting distracted. Somebody's calling me, and not too sure what's gonna happen. But let me see, where was I? Oh yeah. And so the next topic was basically what I've been playing, but more specifically how I've been playing Zelda, and I'm gonna keep on playing Zelda. And whoa, what am I writing? Oh, okay. I typed in after beating my first boss, but for some reason when I typed it out, it said after being my first box, and so I didn't know what the hell I was trying to get at. So anyway, yeah, I beat my first boss, or my first dungeon, if that's what people want to call them. They're not dungeons, folks. They're not terrible, but they ain't dungeons. At least the one I did, and it wasn't underwhelming. It was pretty easy. But the fact that it was as easy as it was got me worried that maybe the rest of the dungeons are gonna be quick to do or something like that. And so I've decided I'm gonna take my time with the world, but doing so, I think it's gonna make me be playing this game for quite a few months. And it's only because it doesn't change the fact that even though I've been making time to do these podcasts, I still don't have a lot of time to play games. But again, the Switch rectifies that because of the handheld aspect of it. But yeah, it's actually hard. I also want to apologize in case you hear noises. That's my son. I didn't realize. I actually took a break and I went to go take care of something because he's been calling me. I don't know how well that comes through on the mic, but I noticed that you can hear him saying, "I'm done," or "Get my back." And so I just want to give a heads up. Anyway, that's personal. So anyway, what I was going to say is, but going with that of how I want to take my time through the world, it's actually hard for me to get used to exploring the world. And it's just because I've been so trained, like, gaming the past not couple of years, but since I was, 20 years or something like that? It's been a long time. Man, anyway, time flies. But I've been trained basically to just be very objective focused and mission based and just go do what I need to do to accomplish and beat the game. And this game, I'm finding a really hard time exploring the world because I'm like, I shouldn't be, or just like I mentioned in the last podcast, I'm afraid of getting overpowered and the game becoming too easy. But after playing the first boss, and I'm like, well, it is already kind of easy. Maybe they want you to explore the world because the world itself is harder than the bosses. Like I mentioned, I think the world is supposed to be a character, but I think it's because what makes it hard to explore the world is because I'm so used to not having time or not being able to sit down for 3 hours at a time. And I still can't really, but I think the Switch has really made that easier. So like I was playing Sleeping Dogs on my Xbox One before the Switch came just to pass some time. And I was doing a lot of side missions and stuff and it felt fun. But it also, I was also like, you know what, let me try to get through more of this and just focus on the main quest. And here, the way the main quests are kind of given to you, or side quests are given to you, it's very organic. They don't come up unless you want them to. And I know that sounds like, well, that's how open worlds work. But what I mean is, like, there's nothing kind of reminding you, hey, don't forget to get back on that main quest. Or, hey, don't forget you picked up a side quest. You literally can forget about things. And again, that's kind of how how games are, but I feel like certain game, like in Sleeping Dogs, I would get to a point where I saw that there were other parts of the map that I hadn't gotten to, and it's obvious that I can't get to them now even because I haven't unlocked the story mission that lets me fast travel to them. In this game, you can go anywhere, and that's what makes it intimidating and exciting at the same time. Where I'm like, okay, I'm progressing to the story, but how much more of the story do I have to accomplish in order to unlock X, Y, Z? It doesn't matter. Everything's unlocked. On podcasts, I've been hearing about this island in Zelda called Eventide Island, and I was like, oh man, I wonder where that is. It sounds pretty crazy from what I've heard, and I stumbled upon it today. And yeah, it's pretty damn hard. And so I'm not going back there anytime soon. Because even if you go... Anyway, I'm not going to tell you about the island. It's all over the internet probably. But it's a real fun surprise if you happen to run across it. And, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about how I feel like the world is less intimidating because of the Switch, for me personally, because of the time constraints I have. And so that's topic number 3, how the Switch, it's making it easier for me to digest large games and open world games, and we'll see how this goes going forward. But, oh yeah, the topic number 4, it can't all be Zelda. I know everybody's talking about Zelda. I know I'm still playing it, and like I said, I'm going to be playing it for a long time, but I can't just keep talking about it, because that's old too. So I actually took a break for myself, and I started playing Shovel Knight. And I've never played the game before. I always wanted to. I wanted to get it for the 3DS when it was announced. And then it was coming to the Wii U, but without cross-buy. And so I was like, well, I don't want to buy both. I didn't know where I was at the time. And then as time went on, I realized, I really like the portable aspect of it. So I wanted to buy it for the 3DS. But then when I heard about the Switch, I said, I think this might be the best because it can be both, and I won't have to worry about save transfers or what features get ported where. And then they announced the Amiibo thing with co-op, and then I was like, well, I guess I have to get... This Switch basically answers all the questions, and I think is one of the definitive ways to play the game because, again, you can take it anywhere. And it can be a console thing. And again, for somebody that hasn't played it, it's pretty awesome. Obviously, if you played it before, things might be different or you might see it differently, but I'm having a good time with it. And I can't wait to get into more of it, to see where it goes. Again, I've only done like the first 3 bosses, and I'm trying to explore these areas that I haven't figured out yet. Anyway, I just want to take a break from that. And yes, I've been playing some Fast Remix, but that one is really tough because I'm not into racing games. I'm going to get into that a little later, but I'm going to go on to the next game that I've been playing, which is Snipper Clips. And that's something I've been tackling with different people. So it's been an interesting journey because that one I think is supposed to be a multiplayer game. I've never attempted to do it myself. I probably could be able to beat it. The way that the single player works, I think it might actually be better if you really want to just bull rush to the puzzles. But it's something I've been playing with my son. And but being 3 years old, I think some of the puzzles are stumping him. And so that's been interesting the way, like I mentioned, we're kind of just going back and forth, like arguing almost of how to get it done. My wife and I started to play for like one level, and then I played with a coworker at work, but that one was just to show him the system. And my son really is the only legitimate co-op player that I have right now. But again, it's kind of limited how much we can get through. He wants to play it all the time. But my wife also has been kind of like, hey, he's been playing too much games, which I agree. And so I'm trying to find a balance of when to play Zelda, because that's all I want to play, when to play Shovel Knight, which is also a single-player game, and when to fit in Snipper Clips, play with my son, because it's like, hey, man, I want to play Zelda. And then it's like, okay, let's play Snipper Clips. And then my wife's like, oh, too late, it's time for bed, or he's been playing too much already on the 3DS. So it's like, oh, it's a weird balancing act. Again, it's not everybody's problem, but it's one of mine. Yeah, that's a problem. It's not. Oh yeah, and then on this next topic, I wanted to talk about upcoming games, and specifically how the games I want to buy are tough. Like I'm having a dilemma because I wanted to buy Blaster Master Zero, but I was like, I haven't even beat the games that I have now, so there's no point in it. And so I decided to just leave it alone. And after waiting on some reviews, I'm kind of glad. I think if I bought it, I wouldn't be disappointed. It just wouldn't be the kind of game I want to play. And then it comes down to, they released the Neo Geo Classic games. I wanted to get Metal Slug because I'm a big fan of Metal Slug. But I don't have again, like I sell a Metal Slug Connection for like PS4 and stuff like, or PS3 and Xbox and Wii, but it's like I don't have to buy a retro game or hope for backwards compatibility. I wish that they would release them all as a bundle for the Switch, again, because I like to take it and go and home console aspect of it. But I just am like, you know what, I'm gonna wait. And right now, the only big games that are coming out is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that's a problem for me because I don't really have any friends to play that with. Like the big thing is battle mode, and I don't have a lot of friends to play battle mode with. I don't have any friends that have a Switch right now that I can play multiplayer with, and I don't know how the online infrastructure is going to be. And basically, I'm kind of like jaded because I bought Smash for the Wii U, and I realized after playing it for a good while that I'm not that big of a Smash player, or maybe I just don't have the friend ecosystem that others do, that it's enjoyable for me. Like I said, my son is the only one who is playing Snipper Clips with me because my wife is too busy and I don't have anyone else to play with. And that, like, he didn't exist like 4 years ago or 2 years ago when Smash came out and when Mario Kart came out. And so, like, for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe specifically, I don't feel compelled to unlock all the courses and race all the cups. It's a good game, but there's something about it. Maybe because it's a racing game at the end of the day, and I'm not a huge fan of racing games. I'm having a hard time thinking like, yeah, I should buy it. They have this new mode that it'll prevent you from falling off the track, and that'll be good to race with my son. But again, I don't know, like playing $60 again when we have Mario Kart 8 and all the DLC for the Wii U. I don't know if that's worth it. And again, like I'm saying, all I'm buying is a battle mode. So I'm really having a hard time coming to grips with whether I do want to buy it or don't want to buy it. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know. And then ARMS is coming up, and I'm really looking forward to ARMS. But again, ARMS is a fighting game at the end of the day, and just like Smash and to a greater extent like Street Fighter and things like that, I'm really not a fighting game guy. Like Smash would be fun if I had people who would have fun with me and not care if they lose, because I'm not that good, and I like the game. It's just my brother, he's super competitive. People online, even if then the for fun mode, just beat the shit out of you like nobody's business. And it's kind of like, this isn't fun. It's too competitive. You got people thinking it's a career instead of just a video game. And so like ARMS is really fun. It's new. They're calling it like the Splatoon of fighting games. But I don't think there can be such a thing as a Splatoon for fighting games, because Splatoon is like pure fun and mayhem, and whether you win or lose, you feel like you're contributing to the team in some way. And ARMS, like a regular fighting game, it's one-on-one. If you suck, you suck. Like, you're gonna get your ass beat by your opponent, and there's really no way against it. When you lose in a fighting game, the only thing you can blame is yourself, because you both have the same tools. And so at the end of the day, it comes down to skill. And I think even with ARMS, it looks fun. I really want to buy it. I really want to play it. But I don't have anyone to play it with that sucks as much as me or is on the same skill level as me. You know what I mean? Like, it just... I really want to buy ARMS and support that new series. It's just... I don't think I can right now. The new purchases from Nintendo don't seem enticing. So I'm really relying on indies. But I want to wait till more indies are released. I mean, yeah, we had that Nindies event that was pretty cool, but those aren't out yet, so it's a wait-and-see approach on when those come out. And so I'm kind of in limbo when it comes to what I'm going to buy in the future. And the last topic is basically Splatoon and how I'm really hyped for that. And specifically, I just wanted to give a PSA about how they're having the Splatoon test fire. I think it's the 24th to the 26th or something. At different times, you'll be able to play for 1 hour segments. And that's a game. I mean, that one's multiplayer focused, and I don't give a shit if nobody plays with me. It's kind of, there's something weird about it. Like, I mean, I played Turf Wars in the Wii U, and I played the ranked matches, and all of those modes were just, I don't know, they're damn amazing. They're off the chain crazy and fun and frantic. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. That game to me is just super fun and stylized. I love it. I love everything about it. And that one I can't wait to come out. But that's not going to come out for a while. I think by the time that one comes out, the online services will have kicked in at that time. So it's quite a few ways off. But so again, it's a PSA, but it's also another reason for me to just whine about how I don't know what games I'm going to buy in the future, because it looks like I'm waiting on indies or third parties. But I mean, like I said, Zelda also should theoretically last me a couple of months. And that's kind of it. I mean, like I said, this week has been kind of dry. Like I mentioned in the beginning, even the gaming industry is kind of making up excuses. I think you had like a PAX East right now this week, and then they had a Game Developers Conference, GDC, last week. There's been stuff that's going on, but none of it is really for the consumers to like get hyped about. They announced Shadow of War, which is the sequel to Shadow of Mordor, and I've never played it. I hear the Nemesis system is great. So I'm always looking forward to these new games, and it's always because, like, let's say I was a Xbox or Sony console only player or a fanboy or whatever may have you. Let's say I'm not experiencing Zelda right now. I would still be very interested in what Zelda's doing, because then, like everyone else, I'm totally behind the fact that games after Zelda are going to be different, whether they're open world or not. I think people are going to start to change the way they create games in many genres, but specifically the open world genre, because of Zelda. And I'm looking forward to that future. So if I didn't own Zelda, I would still be interested in it, which is why I'm still interested in Shadow of War, because hopefully if they get it done right, I think now the Nemesis system will take off. If Zelda had a Nemesis system and the Blood Moon reacted differently, I think Zelda could be a totally different game. You know what I mean? If the Nemesis system is a very interesting, I think, advancement in AI and in what's it called? Oh my god, I can't think of the word. It's basically persistent storytelling, where the storyline and the AI is persistent throughout your gameplay. That the same thing as Zelda. The world is persistent, and the physics in it are what keep it going. Anyway, I'm gonna cut myself off before I rant about Zelda and whatever. But yes, everybody, that is the podcast this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Small little checkup, if you will. I've actually broken this up into like 3 segments because I keep stopping because of my son's shower or because I'm worried that there's too much background noise. But it looks like it's going to be a good 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe 27. I don't know. Not a long podcast. So thank you for sticking with me. And I'll catch you guys next week. And I'm going to go ahead and do the outro myself instead of kicking it to pre-recorded me. Because I did that because I was getting my training wheels. I didn't think I could remember all the stuff I had to say. But I'm going to give it a shot. So you're not going to hear pre-recorded me. Sorry for those of you. I mean, he had to go sometime, you know. But anyway, thank you for listening. If you want to catch these episodes, you can catch them on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Music, and on YouTube. Post them every Friday. I try to. This one's going up late. So what a shitty way to start this. So this one will probably be up Saturday. So go ahead and give me likes, reviews, and if you have any questions, you can tweet at me or direct message me at Unsaluted on Twitter. And until next week, guys, I'm glad to talk to y'all, and I'll see you guys and gals later. Bye.